Yes, people. Welcome back, man. Another day, another dollar, another video, another reaction. Liverpool 1, Everton 0. Time to dissect it with the man. Them Savage in the building, main event himself. G in the building after his pilgrimage yesterday. He's now back live with us as well. Hey, before we get started, though, man, can we speak about? No, actually, I'm not going to ask the question. No.
Bro, you better not be asking what I think you're going to ask.
No, I'm not going to ask it. Do you know? So, G, I asked you a question in the background. We said we'll wait for Savage to come in and answer it.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll answer that offline. We'll do that one offline. I don't want to.
I mean, I really want to know, but yeah, we'll do it offline, man.
Yeah, because it might be a log fire conversation still.
Oh, okay, fair.
Listen, if you guys ain't watched the first log fire, go and watch it. Still, it was vibesy.
I told you one thing, and if you ask certain questions around the log fire, throw water on
it. But listen, we're here to chop up about Liverpool. Not the best performance, but a win nonetheless. 1-0 on our way with 8 games left to go, Mav. I was so happy that we got the win, and everything else I didn't care about. But obviously, we're here to talk about the game. We're here to break it down. Open floor, man, then, bro. In terms of the game itself, overview of the game, and what did you feel? What did you think? I saw online, especially, that a lot of people dissed the 2 centre halves as well. But I go, first 45, then man, they were a bit mad. The rest of the game, I thought they were good. I want to know what you guys think, though. What was your overview of the game itself? Anyone can take the floor if they want it.
Go ahead, G.
The performance was dead. It was boring to watch. Honestly, I couldn't. That was it wasn't that good, to be honest. I can't even say Liverpool have had a break, because I'm sure bar maybe 2 players are not playing international football, so they've been playing quite consistently in the last couple of weeks. It was I don't know, man. It was like a weird. Obviously, it's a derby as well, so I get that. And especially because the first game after the international break, in terms of the team playing together, so maybe there was a little bit of that as well. Especially in the first half, I felt like we struggled because Everton was so direct. It was sitting in low block, boom, and then they're just gonna go forward as quickly as possible, and they kept going long. It didn't even matter, even if still using it better. It didn't even matter if he was going to get on the end of it. It was, let's just get the ball up into that side of the field. First half, man, Konate and Van Dijk, they absolutely struggled. I've not seen them rattled like that in a very long time, man. He's a handful as well, to be fair. And they should have learned their lesson from the first game. They didn't. First half, it was poor, slow. It was just so lethargic. And it was what we complained about before, innit? Like slow, boring football. And I'll be real, I didn't even know where the goal was actually going to come from. That was the bit that kind of more shocked me in the second half, was Jota obviously scoring such a, that was a wonderful goal, solo goal, dribbling into the box. That's what he does, or that's what he can do, should I say, sorry. The team got a little bit better, but you said it already, man. Got the win, got the 3 points. You just get in, you get out of there. We move on to, the next fixture. At this point, it's just, I just want the season to the retirement end, so we can just get the 3 points, win the title, and then we go. But if we're looking at performances, again, it's another 5 out of 10 performance from the team, man.
Nah, fair. You know what we spoke about last time as well, though, Sav? We were saying about certain man, as soon as they have a bad game, bro, they get criticized early, bro. No one cares, bro. Fire shot at them all day. Other players, on the other hand, there's kind of a little pre-void. Nah, it's all right. What was your thoughts of the game in general?
I think the game had ebbs and flows in it. I don't know, there's periods of the first half before Beto started to throw his weight around, because he wasn't doing that the whole half. I mean, it took a while for him to get into the game and get his first chance to do that. And G's right, it was a tactic, because I kept seeing Tarkowski give the ball back to Pickford, and he just hit it long every single time. Tried to go down, because I thought it was going to try to go against Curtis a little bit more in it, because he's not a right back. Try to hit that channel. There was periods when I thought that we moved the ball pretty smooth, it was a little bit quicker, because I'm used to us passing the ball, stopping, but it felt like a bit more one touch. It didn't lead to anything though. And my biggest problem in the first half was there was some sustained pressure from us for the period of that first half, and the pressing was good. But it was a normal Liverpool thing, like, yeah, but there's nothing to show for it. And then I was like, I know what it's going to end up like with the second half. And obviously, luckily, Jota got that goal. He took the goal great. We weren't creating any other chances before that. I think it was only the Diaz cross at the back post to Salah, the header when he headed it at the keeper. Which, whatever. I didn't even expect him to score a header from that angle, to be honest. I think Curtis was standing there for like a tap in, but I think once you've got locked your eyes on the ball, you're not really looking to the side of your
Side of you, yeah.
But like Salah tried to stretch the pitch on the wing, and Diaz. I think it was working for Diaz. I think he was the best player on the pitch, to be honest, for the whole game. And Salah was trying it, but he couldn't really take on his man. And then when he was stepping inside, there wasn't much going on. So that was kind of all I saw from Salah all game. And then after that, you just didn't see him in the second half. The midfield, again, is a bit like not much going on. I thought Grav wasn't good again. I thought Szoboszlai looked clueless in what he was doing. I mean, McAllister was trying, but he didn't look too great either. So then when you have that, then you just have Bagel FC and nothing in the middle. And it's just attack and defence. And if the midfield's playing like that, and they're trying to use Grav to do the protecting and that, and he's kind of like carrying the ball well, but then it's like he never knows what to do when he gets to the final third. He glitches, and then it's like, okay, I've done all of this good work. I'm going to pass the ball sideways or back now. And you know what I mean? I was surprised when he had the really good cross he put in, because I'm like, oh yeah, you can cross, bro. Like, I'm not sitting that for 2 seasons. No, seriously, can you not tell me the last time you seen Grav cross the? I don't remember him crossing the ball for Liverpool ever, bro. And then he goes and whips in this peach into the box, and I was like, raw. That come out of nowhere. Szoboszlai's pressing was great, but apart from that, everything else was rubbish. Like, it just wasn't good. And then Konate and Virgil, at the beginning, Konate was winning everything. I actually thought Konate looked like he was about to have one of them blinders of the games, and the way it started, he was winning absolutely everything, bro. The crowd were behind him as well. But it felt like him and Virgil were like disjointed. Like, they weren't a centre-back partnership. That was 2 singles. And
that's what I said. Sorry to interrupt you, Sam, but that's what I said in the preview video I did earlier. Yeah. And I said it felt like they were defending on their ones, bro.
There's no cohesion, bro.
Yeah, it just felt like the man them were just defending, and they just thought, you know what, I'm gonna do my job, you do your job, and that was it.
Bro, he was so disjointed that, like, even when it comes to like running the line and holding the line and stuff like that, it was all over the place. It was just like, oh yeah, today you do you and I'm gonna do me. And then I actually thought the other 2 were good. I actually thought they were 2 of the best players, Curtis and Robbo. I thought they were good all game. And you seen, like, when you give Curtis time on the ball at right back, and like, he's very comfortable on the ball, and so you don't get the marauding right back, but you do get the one who's playing decisive passes and he moves into good spots and that. I'm a bit fed up of, like, Liverpool fans moan about Robbo and well, say Robbo and whoever's playing right back, because Curtis don't normally play there with the under that thing. But clearly it's a tactic, bro. I don't understand. It's like, man, I've never played football before. If you're moaning about something that Robbo and the other right back's been doing all season, and the manager's still playing them all season, then clearly it's the tactic, and it. Manager's moaning, he's getting in the way and he's doing it. Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. But apart from that, we won the game. Everton was going to make it nasty at one point, and they did. And then once they started to make the game look rough and that, I just wanted to know at that point, is Liverpool up for the fight? And we got the 3 points in it. I don't know if we need probably going forward, but it's whatever Slot wants to do. Our team not very robust, and they don't ever seem like they're ready for a fight, bro. And Tarkowski dropped the nasty high footing and that, bro. But I like Tarkowski, innit? Like, he's a brute, bro. When you see him and Branthwaite and O'Brien, and then the big Utes, bro, units in it, throwing the weight around.
You realize, yeah.
And Mikalenko's like, he's not. He seems quite frail in it, but he's pretty strong. He doesn't mind getting, like, you know what I mean. So yeah, man, it was one of those ones, and obviously that's what the tactic was, to get the ball up to Beto, bro, and hope he knocks it down and bring everyone else into play. Luckily, like, Jack Harrison and that were playing shit, so that helped.
Yeah, now when I saw him start, I was like, yeah, that's probably a good
thing. I think he played all right after a bit, though. He was quiet, but then Alcaraz, once he started getting on the ball, he just started running at us, and I was like, oh. And then they brought in Dion, and I was like, bro, I'm glad he didn't start, because he just causes anyone problems. So, hey, man, 3 points. I'm not going to dwell on it, because now it's done, and we've got the 3 points on it. While I was watching it, I was just more like, oh, this is boring, innit? Because when you asked in the preview, I thought it was going to be 0-0. That's what I thought it was going to be. So I'm glad we got the 3 points. obviously we're analysing it now, so I'll say what I'm saying, but I don't care. That the 3 points are done and a couple more wins and we win the title, innit? It's one of those.
No, man. Still, big up JJ for jumping in as well, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got a few of the controversial things to chop up as well, and I want to get to that as well. But I want to take your overview on the game as well before we move on to the more controversial parts. And a couple of the comments from Arne Slot and Virgil and David Moyes as well. But what's your overview of the game?
Tough game. I think I kind of alluded to it on Husam's channel. He asked me to hop on in place of Matt. Shout out to Matt from Coppish. But yeah, I thought it would be a tough game. I think the derby is never comfortable. I think Liverpool back after any international break or when they haven't got momentum, they haven't been performances haven't been great. I think that stems back to even times on the clock where we'd lose a lot of those games or draw games and he'd start complaining about 12:30 kick-off, a midweek game and make all these excuses. But yeah, it was a tough game. I think Everton, first of all, I've got to give props to Moyes, to be fair, from a coach's standpoint. I think what he's done to Everton in such a short space of time without any real signings as well, the way in the relegation battle, they're safe now. They're safe. And now they're going into a new stadium. They're going to get money to spend because they've paid their dues. Whatever debts they had and all of this. PSR and FFP or whatever it's called. So look, they're cool. They've been done for that, but they're going to be in a situation now where they're going to be looking to trying to get into the top 10. And when you look at what Moyes has done, even at West Ham, you look at the base that they've got in their team right now with Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, and Brandweight in particular. I think Mikalenko's actually quite good as well. But that base there, and then with a couple of the forwards that they've got, like Beto looks revitalised in terms of he knows what he is and he's going to be a handful, but will cause teams problems. And if you can cause Konate and Virgil van Dijk problems up against the teams, in and around them, your Fulhams, your Brentfords, it's going to cause some more problems. He's done well. Second back end of the season. And yeah, look, Liverpool needed to win that game. It was a big game. It would be nervy. And yeah, it was a bit stale. I think in midfield, I don't think midfield were great.
No.
I don't think midfield were great at all. I'm a bit and ahhing about McAllister. I think he's a good player, but sometimes I think, can you do a bit more for us in there? It feels a lot of the time like Soberside does a run in. McAllister's this crunching people and just gives the ball, and it's like, yeah, Gravenberch do the rest and try run for everyone. And it's like, yeah, when you're in that role, this isn't like under 10s, under 11s football where you've got one player that can run through the team. He's actually passed the ball, and I think once you nullify that from Gravenberch's game, he's not. You can see why a manager might come in and be like, you know what, you're really, really good, but we're going to play this person instead, especially if they want someone to use the ball in terms of stylistically. He's been fantastic this season. Yeah, I think defensively, just echoing what Saf said, Konate and Virgil van Dijk, they just didn't know what to do with Beto, man. I think for the first time we saw what happened is Beto actually went over to Konate, and instead of Konate doing the covering thing where Virgil can just delay and stuff, it was Virgil having to go and cover for Konate and kind of get across, and it was just causing a melee of just issues, man. And yeah, look, on another day, look, he could have scored 2 goals, Beto. Do you know what I mean? He got a goal that was offside, had the other chance where he's hit the post. And yeah, man, that could have caused us a lot of problems. But yeah, that was a mad thing to me. I think Kelleher obviously done all right. And then for me, the best player on the pitch by far for me was Luis Diaz.
By far, bro.
You kind of saw what
I was gassed, bro. Because after I watched that conversation back and forth,
not even gassed. It's not even gassed, but it's one of those ones where when I'm saying something, but it's not there, but I can't. I'm like, Hussam or this person. This is why I think Diaz is good. Like if you're not going to play like this, that's fine. But these are the qualities I think he's got. And people are like, no, he's not. Play this person. It's like, fine, you can play him. Again, I've said to you, man, if he's not going to play and you want someone that's just going to go and be mad efficient, go and sell him. But what you see is if you can keep feeding that winger, and you think about the teams that were linked with him, which are City and Barca, right?
Yeah.
What do? Feed their wingers all the time, get them 1v1, and Barca try to do the same thing, you'll see that over the course of the game, it's going to cause a lot of problems. And you saw Salah, I don't know what he was, we can talk about him, but, again, flattered to deceive, didn't really get the ball, didn't command, they didn't try. I saw Diaz coming into the pockets to try and get on the ball. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see Salah do that. He just stayed out wide again and was just waiting for the ball to come to him, which is fair. That's his game. I know we've discussed it with G. He's actually broke it down well. But yeah, it was a thing where Diaz done well. But again, it looked like if it wasn't going to be him to just come out of nothing, it looked like we might not score. And I think performance-wise, it was a bit worrying when you look from that standpoint in terms of, where the goal's going to come from. Because if Salah's not going to get the goals, Diaz isn't Salah, Jota's obviously been out of form, and then the midfielders don't chip in with goals. It's like, you've got no creative outlet with, obviously, Trent, so you don't even have that moment of brilliance with a ball that just puts someone, right in front of goal. So, yeah, man, it's a weird one. It's like, when you're looking at performance, it weren't great. But look, we got the result. We got the win. Can't really complain from that standpoint, because I guess right now you're just trying to win the league. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what we think. But when you look to the future and look at the game in isolation, I think Liverpool struggled again against a team that just said, we're going to sit in, be really physical with you and hit you on the counter. And how can you deal with our counter? And it looks like teams are just getting better at that anyway, getting better at transitioning and getting very, very direct. So it's causing
every team, said to end before, every team that's been physical with us this season, we've struggled with every single one of them. Even Plymouth, bro. Like, as soon as man start dropping, because the man them are weak, bro. Like, some of them are tall, but like frail, blood. Like, Grab's not that. These man ain't that strong, bro.
As well. Liverpool done well when you're trying to counter and teams are trying to play short passes and stuff. Like, even with like City, you can go and like press really aggressive and win the ball there. But if you're trying to do that press and they're just going ball over the top, all of a sudden your midfielders are trying to press, but your defenders are dropping off to win the first ball. When the ball lands, you saw it with Beto. He wins a header. There's just space. There's just a gap. There's no midfielder. There's no one there, because we just get. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to press. And
how do we get that balance then, Jay? Because you're right. If they're like a City where they're just gonna pop it about in those areas, you can press that. You can try and win it. But if they're going to go long, how do you... Because it's not the first time. It's not the second time. It's not the third time teams have done this. When are we going to learn, bro? We're going to have to maybe press but still drop off. I don't know how we... Maybe like two midfielders stay.
The only way you can counter that is to sit off.
Sit off, yeah.
The only way you can counter that is do what Real Madrid would do, which is we're just going to sit in now and we're going to hit you on a counter. Problem is, when Liverpool are on the ball, the demands from the fans, the demands from the manager in terms of how he wants to play, he wants to control possession, which is fine. But then you have to make sure that long ball is just you're stopping it. Whereas before, teams were less likely to go long. Like, there wasn't a plan to, because every team tried to play at the back. Every team wanted to go and do the Pep Guardiola thing, and there's been a criticism from a lot of managers saying, "Oh, why are they trying to play at the back if they can?" Like, I remember Southampton and stuff, and they were playing, but look how we scored our goals. They're trying to play short. Yeah, we've pressed you, boom, goal. Do you know what I mean? After you're trying, when the team knows, all we're going to go is go in behind and go long, you can cause teams problems. And to be fair, we've seen it like years gone by, even at Spurs when they went and played against that non-league team in the FA Cup, where they just sat in and said, "We're just going to hit the channels, and what we're going to do is spin your defenders and creep up and just hope we can get a counter attack." The difference is when you're playing against Newcastle, when you're playing against Forest, when you're playing against like Everton, which are low level in terms of Premier League right now, they've got players that are much better. So that one chance that we talk about is a goal. Do you know what I mean? In years gone past, the team does that, they just lose possession. But now it's like, all right, you're getting it, but Beto's battling Konate and he wins a second. And then Harrison's mad rapid, and all of a sudden you just burst through, makes the wrong decision, but you can see, if that's an Elanga, if that's a Morgan Gibbs-White, all of a sudden you're in trouble, So I don't know. It's a difficult one, man. I feel like definitely difficult. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. You either have to, I don't know, maybe the game's going back to, depending on who you're playing, you're having to adapt.
That's what I was going to say. We're not going to have to deal with that every single week, because we're not. So when we do, it's just adapting for that one game, innit?
Yeah.
The only thing is, if teams are just going to go a bit more direct now, like that's the plan, and in terms of physicality, pace, power, and all of that, teams are only going to get better. So even if you don't think the technical level of people is getting better, teams are able to get players that are equally as fat. Look what Alanga did the other day. Like that's something you'd only associate with like a Salah or Henry years gone by. He's doing that now, and that's Alanga. Do you know what I mean? Like respect to him, but he's not the Don Dada of the Premier League or whatever. So when teams have got that in their locker now, it's like, boy, do you sit off and allow a Forest to try dominate the ball and then try counter them? Is that sustainable? It becomes a difficult, man. It's like you need the best ballers on the pitch to counter that. But Liverpool,
it's more acceptable in like the Champions League or something than it because it's a knockout. You get it done when it's a league game. I feel like Thingy as well. When Konate is not doing what he's good at, he looks so off balance, bro, and a bit scatty, bro. Like he kept trying to do that thing yesterday where he started the game really well, but then all of a sudden the ball be coming over, and we know Konate just ahead of the ball, innit? But he tried to do the Maldini thing. Now I'm gonna let it bounce and get around it, and he just kept like slipping. And Beto was just like, "All right, give me this, bro." That's like, bro, it's so annoying, bro. Just do what you're good at, man.
Problem is, I feel like when Konate is coming up against someone that like isn't gonna want the battle, his physicality looks mad. But when you're coming up against someone now that's going, you're gonna go power for power. Yeah, I'm gonna go power as well. Now let's see what you do with that. All of a sudden, it just becomes a mess. It just becomes like bozo-ish. Yeah, man.
Let's look at the comments. G, I'll go to you firstly, man. Obviously, he said he didn't see like his press conference and stuff like that after the game, but they asked him about it, and they asked Virgil about the red card, and they both like dodged the question, kind of thing. They were like they didn't want to get involved in saying anything. I don't know the reason why they dodged it was because they're like, we understand the refs are going a bit crazy recently, but we want to make sure they don't have no reason going into our last 8 games where they're finding little nitpicking like, oh, you man keep criticizing us. So they're just like, you man make of it what you think. We won't get involved in the conversation. It's so obvious that it is not necessary for me, the comment in terms of the red card and
look at Tarkowski's face on the picture.
Yeah, it's mad.
They got the perfect still, because before it's not like that went his face the whole time.
Yeah, no.
As like he's at points in it. It's mad.
What's your thoughts though, G, in terms of the tackle itself? And I'll flick through some of the comments while you're speaking, and obviously I get the Mandem's take as well. What was your thoughts on that tackle, bro?
Yeah. At first, I thought it was a really good tackle. I can't even lie. I thought, that's a good tackle. That's a defender's tackle, man. Like I've been on the end of some of them type of challenges, back in the day. But when you then see the replay, because at first I was like, McAllister, he goes down all the time, man. Like he's always on the floor complaining about something. So I thought it was just one of those. I honestly just thought, bro, get up, man. Like derby game, rare tear. And Moyes was right. I will not lie. Moyes was right. In the derby game gone by, obviously we're not playing that kind of football now. It's 2025. But I promise you, Gerrard has done worse and not been sent off easily. Yeah, I'm trying to say. But 2025, we're not, that this is totally different. You do challenges like that, that is a red card. Like there's no two ways about it. And I'm sure Pgmol, whatever they're called, I'm sure they said that it should have been reviewed and it should have been a red card. So I was like, okay, yeah, fair. You know what? On a slot, Virgil van Dijk, perfect. You don't need to talk about it. Like talking about it doesn't do anything. Like it really doesn't. Like highlighting the point doesn't make a difference because now it just puts again, which Liverpool do quite a lot. You put a target on your back, and then you're the first ones to complain when things start to go again. Just shut up. I don't need you to talk about it. We know it was a red card. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Like it's not that deep anyway. Let's just move on, man. Like it's just one of those. But 100%, I thought, yeah, it was a. Honestly, I was with Moyes. I was like, tackle. And then I see him roll on the floor. But then, when like, now I'm seeing players run towards him. I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe this is worse than I actually initially thought. So the replay, I said, oh, yeah, nah, you know what? But then they said, nah. So then I thought, okay, maybe they saw it the same way, which is, bruv, it's just one of them tackles. Like, he got the ball obviously first, but then his follow through, maybe they're just thinking he was just overzealous. Listen, whatever their reason is, I can't lie, I don't actually care. Like, as in, I really don't care. Kind of thing. Like, it is what it is. Tackle happened. He apologized afterwards. He understood it was a bad tackle. We're all grown men, man. Like, we just move on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this is one of them ones that we need to put in the highlight reel or, you know what I mean? Like, talk about it. Because I know fans are going to use this. Oh, BJ, bro, forget all of that. This is not even top 5, 10 worst decisions that we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it is what it is, man, with these kind of things, man.
Okay, Sav, I'll go to you though. Do you think us as fans would say that in terms of what G just mentioned, we should kind of just let it go? Do you think we're only letting it go because we won the game? Because if we drew or lost, I don't know.
That is the reason why they're letting it go. Players are like people are fickle in it. If I prefer when our team attack something when we do win, to be honest, because then it's not an excuse. But as G said, man, I feel like I knew when I saw that ball loose from McAllister's, because he's slow. I knew what Tarkowski was about to do. Like, anyone who knows football knows what he's about to do. I don't think he made it. I don't think Tarkowski wanted it to look that bad, because McAllister's foot's in the floor, innit? I don't think he wanted it to look that bad. I feel like he just wanted to, put one on man in it. It's a derby game, and I need to let man know I'm there, and it just come off even worse. He is what it is, man. Yeah, he apologized and stuff like that. He definitely went out there to like clatter him, but I don't think he went out there to do that. Like, I think if he had broke McAllister's legs, he would have been upset himself by doing that. Yeah. I don't think that's what he was trying to do. And as I said, I like them kind of players, Tarkowski, and that. But like, I feel like Liverpool lack some of that physicality in our team when they're putting these kind of tackles on players and that. But yeah, obviously he's gone over the ball and it looks a bit worse than it was. He got the whole ball, obviously. Portini was on VAR, so as soon as I knew that, I knew he wasn't going to tell the ref to go to the screen. I think that's the biggest problem, is just let the ref do it and let the ref go to the screen and make his decision. You didn't even send him there, bro. So to the ref, that means all the ref saw is that Tarkowski got the ball. And it does a bit
of him after instead of
yeah. So for me, I was just like, all right, then whatever, man. Like, it looks disgusting, but the main thing is McAllister's okay. So
it's a weird one though, isn't it? Because like, obviously we're talking about the Premier League, right? But like you go lower down the levels, right? There's so many of these challenges.
They're the normal.
Where a man just has to get, like, that happens and he has to just get up. Like, you just have to get, like, we've all experienced it where wherever level you've played at, whether it's I mean, obviously not on here played the Premier League, but where a challenge just goes in like that, where he's side footed in it. He hasn't like kicked. Like, I mean, what Pickford done, and I mean, there's an argument to that. He's gone in. Yeah, it's a mad challenge, but like, I don't know if Verge done that. Would I want Verge to go off for that? I know we're talking about.
But you could also understand that Verge did it and they sent him off.
Well, you know when Curtis got sent off
based on the rules. Like, the rules are the rules.
I was going to say that.
The rules are the rules. He should have been sent off. I think to what G said. I'm just thinking more so like. Yeah, obviously, that image looks mad, innit? It does look mad. It does.
I just would have been like, if one of our players got sent off for it, I'd have just been pissed that a player got sent off, but I would have understood it. And if
exactly. It's more so what Slot said. I think he was like, it's more about it's to do with the rule.
Yeah.
When you was talking about that offside, but it's more to do with the rule than the actual implementation of the rule. And I think in this instance, like according to the law, it was a red, didn't it? Like it was off the ground. It was, I mean, they looked at all of that intent, this, that. I don't think, obviously, he meant to like break his leg or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He definitely wouldn't have known that McAllister's.
The Verge one, I saw it going on socials. Obviously, that's ages ago. But the Verge one on like Mertens or like Insigne or whatever, that's like 10 times worse, bro. Man, don't get none of the ball coming from the side. Like, it was just.
Yeah, remember Curtis had one 2 seasons ago against Spurs and he got sent off. But Curtis went over. He didn't mean to. He slipped on the ball, innit?
That one's crazy, and that's what it is. It's that got sent off. You got sent off for that, but then for this, you get a yellow card, which is fine. Like, again, I'm fine with the ref. If the ref's gonna say that's a yellow card, that's fine. But we just need consistency.
I am with you, lot though. When people are going, Everton are dirty and disgusting. Yeah, it's a derby, bro. I don't understand. Like, that's what it is. When we don't like each other. We saw how the last game finished. That's a derby, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's why Pickford kicked up Nunes and then acted like he didn't do anything, bro. He did it on purpose. And I didn't see the replay of what happened to Virgil. Do you see when Virgil was complaining about? He was telling the ref go to VAR, like someone must have kicked him. I don't know if it was better or something. So it's a derby, bro. I see Virgil do it all the time. Do the little heel kick thing.
Yeah, he actually kicked out. He kicked out better anyway.
See, so that's what I'm saying. Virgil does it all the time.
Better slid to challenge him. He jumped over it and then kicked out of him and then looked at the ref. Like, that could have easily been a yellow, innit?
Did you see when Tarkowski put his hand on Virgil? Virgil dashed him on the floor.
Yeah, bro. Why did Virgil dash him, bro? No, Virgil. Bro, I said, no. Why is
But
Virgil
nah,
just acting man like this,
The
bro?
funniest thing I've seen from this whole thing, yeah, is I'm just looking at McAllister. I'm like, you're actually a small man, bro. Like the distance between his ankle and his knee is so tiny. Like it's like the size of
Size of his foot, Tarkowski's foot. Yeah.
Like, you know, if that wasn't like Virgil, you know, that's like hitting him straight on the ankle. It doesn't even look as bad.
Tiny as calf blood.
Because he's so small, it's just like it's the top of the calf. Like, do you know how high you'd have to like kick me to hit me at the top of the calf? Like, you're off the ground, innit? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Is that that's mad? You're just tiny. When I looked at it, I was like, this is mad. You know, he's a small brother. Like, you just got
the picture's so bad, bro. Because if you just saw this, because there's no ball in the picture in it, so he just like, man, just took him out, bro. Not knowing that. He took the whole ball first.
Hold on. Do you think Tarkowski frames that and has that like in an album?
I think so.
When he finishes his career in that, of course.
You know who posted it? McAllister posted this picture along with others on his Instagram. So he posted this picture up. This same picture.
No.
I promise you guys, if you got Instagram, go to McAllister one right now.
Tarkowski's a funny you as well, blood. I don't know if you've seen that Amazon show with them and their wives and that. I watched it, and Tarkowski's one of the geezers on there. He's a funny youth, blood.
Nah, but look, the other side of it, like you got the Pgmol has said, should have been sent off. Like I hate
Sky
this
Sports
part.
in there, innit, though, ends. Sky Sports, not Soccer Saturday, but the midweek one. They had Mike Dean in there, innit, watching it, and he was like straight away like, "Nah, it's a red card." As soon as Duncan Ferguson said it should have been a red card, it's a red card, blood.
Yeah,
it's a red card because he's Everton through and through.
He's softened up though. He's softened up. He's
a little piece.
He's softened up, man.
Yeah, because when someone tried to break in his yard, he chased him with the sword down the road and that. That was.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
Yeah, that's big dunk, blood.
Big dunk, bro. He's a mad guy. But I hate this part because they go, "Oh yeah, like obviously we're kind of sorry, and it should have been a red." Like that don't help us right now. That don't help if McAllister.
They're better off not saying anything, you know.
Yeah, that's what I think.
We've gone with the decision of the ref because ultimately, at the time I thought that Liverpool didn't go to VAR because they were like the ref had seen it.
Yeah.
He thought it's worthy of a yellow. We can't overturn what the ref said because it's like obviously it's all opinions in it. At the end of the day, it's like it's not like he hasn't seen it. It's not like he turned his back and man came through or he didn't give any foul at all. Like, and you just like, play on. He stopped the game and gave him a yellow. So to his discretion, he's giving it as a yellow. So if anything, it's the problem with the ref, innit? The ref thinks it's a yellow, which is fine, but that needs to just be consistent across the board. But you're not going to get that.
Yeah, because you'd expect them to kind of check it and go, when they say there's no obvious error from the referee, you're like, I'm not expecting it to be perfect, bro, but you can clearly see there was an obvious error, bro, because he thought he just won the ball and caught him little, you know what I mean? Little low down.
I was going to say that to Jerry's point, bro. The reason why it looks like the refs give it yellow because he's seen Tarkowski get the ball and his eyes have followed the ball in it. The follow through is still going on, bro. So that's why they should have just said, "Yo, ref." But because it's Paul Tini was like, "Check complete straight away, blood."
Yeah. Do you think there's a way Tarkowski could have made that challenge without following through, though?
Yeah.
Of course.
No.
Yes.
Not
yes, you can.
Not in the pace that he was going in. He was following through regardless. Right. I think there was no way he wasn't following.
He wanted to leave one on man, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No. He wanted to leave one like Savage said, but I don't think it was like there was no situation where unless he stopped running at the pace that he was going in, the pace McAllister was trying to go in. There was no way he was going to.
I get what you mean. I meant before he done it.
Even if he didn't.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't have made that tackle. Then he wouldn't have.
Yeah, he would have. McAllister's slow as shit. If he would have.
No, but I don't think he would have. Because I think if he comes to momentum, what happens? McAllister plays the ball and he just goes straight through him, but standing up, and it looks mad. It looks like he just ran into him, and McAllister just goes flat on his face. I don't think the speed at which he's at. I think he's committed in it, and at that point, it is what it is. Like I know I'm going to leave one on him.
That's why his face did that, bro. That face says,
I've done that myself.
I've done that myself, Jerry. So I know, like, I know.
Once you're in that back line and you decide you're jumping, it can't be a half-hearted jump in.
Yeah, of course. Because you hurt yourself then. So what you man saying? See this picture here. What ad lib did you think you said with this? Habits.
Yeah. Have some of that, like, yeah, man.
Yeah, the only thing he was missing.
Get out of here.
If you would have got the ball, left one in him, and it wasn't a bad one, like high, maybe on his ankle or something, but it's one of those ones. Just you caught him slight, but he would have got up and punched the air. That's what he wanted to do. That's the face he pulled. But because he caught him high, he had to be like, yeah.
Bro, that's one of them when you say your own name when you're Tarkins, lads.
Leave one on, man. Serious, bro.
Nah, you have to, bro. You have to leave one on man, bro. You know what I mean?
Man, them celebrate that in Sunday League. Your team celebrating that, bro. Like a G, bro.
Do you think to his centre backs when he's in that line, he's like, I've got little man, I've got man.
Yeah, of course. I got little man. I got him.
He's like, Tarkins.
Yo, that's jokes, man. Because them kind of ones in Sunday League, you get clattered and the man just says to you, well, you should work out then. Well, what?
Yeah.
Man said, yeah,
it's not a workout situation.
You're like, get in.
What happens, which is the problem. The reason why I say he kind of has to, once he goes there, he has to commit, is because once he steps out, right? If McAllister finds a pass and he's at remember, this Tarkowski done the same thing for the Diaz goal, you know? Do you remember? He's not committed and he's kind of gone half-hearted at a position Jota's already gone through. This one, he just didn't allow him to. He didn't allow that space.
Didn't allow it, man. It's cold, bro. I told you, man. I'll take Tarkowski at Liverpool. I wanted him before he left Burnley, bro. He's cold, bro.
I'm saying that as well, yeah. Because obviously, let's go to this one. Obviously, he said about the offside thing here. We've seen him diving against McAllister. Then he's diving in against a guy that didn't even move. And then he said, because I thought he was gonna do. And then he said, I have to play it because I don't know if he's on or offside. Well, I'm like, at the professional level, if you're holding your line, you're looking across. Surely you know if my man is offside or onside.
Listen, I don't want to do this, but I actually...
They were getting popped for ages. After a while, bruv, you don't know where you are. That's why what happened. He's on a... Listen, I'm telling you now, if Tarkowski's not on a yellow card, yeah? If Tarkowski's not on a yellow card, he gets there quick and just stop, edge of the box, stops it and is like, cool, I'm going to win the yellow. He might get a yellow because of the time of the game, but I'm going to do it. Problem is he can't do that. So now he's trying to do the Virgil van Dijk shifting across, and that's not Tarkowski's game. Now you're telling him to get to that side. You know the drill where you're doing the slide tackle into the small goal, but you're up again and you're trying to. It's over. He hadn't done that for a while. So as soon as he dived in to block it, I'm like, it's over. The gap's there now. Whereas before there was no gaps for that Everton team.
Do you guys agree then with what David Moy is saying here about there's an offside goal which they get? And that's the difference in the game today. And I think the lady as well, I can't remember her name, so forgive me, the girl that was asking the questions. And then she was like, oh, maybe you got away with one with the red card, and that's probably why he got evened out with the... And he said, yo, don't conflate the arguments, bro. Like, I don't want to be
Did he actually say that?
Diaz, yeah, he did say, he said, don't try to put that in there in the red card and that.
Yeah, bro, you weren't having it, bro. He said, nah, don't use them two.
I thought it was offside.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This is one of them weird ones where if they gave the offside, I'd have been pissed, but I would have probably understood.
Yeah.
But because Diaz done the right thing, but by doing the right thing, you're still interfering with play, innit? Because he just tried to I'm just gonna, you're already he's natural. It's not his fault, and if I chose not to do anything, but me not doing anything is blocking the man from getting the tackle.
Yeah,
technically I'm offside.
But that's the law, innit?
Exactly. That's why I said I would have been like,
yeah.
It's
one of those. It's like with the set pieces, you know, when man are just standing offside.
Yeah.
And it's like, bruv,
bro, you're blocking, man, and you're making. You have to be aware.
The problem is you're standing off. Not even that. You know, like they're standing offside, and it's like, cool, that's my man, but I've got another man on me here.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want this man to move across because we're doing this zonal thing, and it's like, all right, cool. He's going to be at one side at one point, but I've got two men to mark.
It's what Arsenal do on every set piece, bro. They're interviewing with play on every set piece when they're offside, bro.
So they know the rule then. So these men just know that rule, so they go, just run it then. That's what
that's what they do.
That's a tactic.
That's what they
do. But Andy just made a good point, and that's what I was about to say was that. But the ball was never for Jota. Like that wasn't for Jota to get and do. It was for Diaz.
Problem is you can't prove it.
But in the game, for example, Nunes enough times.
But I think we know it was for Diaz. Like
no, you're right, but because you can't prove it, because me and Ent had that when we watched the Man City Man U game, and Rashford ran towards them. He started moving towards the ball, then just put his arms out the way. And Edison didn't know
that one is mad, but that one's mad. He's gone. The defender, that one's crazy. I remember that goal. But you see, I've seen Nunes do it a lot, where he'll be offside, and the ball's played. But the game still carries on because the player's not even attempting it. He knows he's offside. Like, he's just been lazy and hasn't got back on. So in that situation there, Diaz doesn't make any like, I'm trying to get the ball. He's just literally standing there. Like if that touch would have been like a touch, but it would have been right at his feet. He's not ready to set and do anything. So when that ball's been passed, yeah, he's offside. He hasn't even made an attempt. By the time Tarkowski's made that whole thing or whatever, Diaz is now onside, isn't it? And it's just one of them ones where it's unfortunate.
I just flicked it round the corner. Then
basically, man are trying to say interview replay by existing on it because we want to teleport.
Yeah. It's again, it's a weird one. It's like that means you can never be offside, really. That's it. You kind of go into that territory where you can never, you can't even stand in an offside position. Where I don't know, it's a weird one. It's a weird one, man.
Yeah, because like Jota didn't move towards it, he didn't nudge, like he didn't faint, like he didn't do, bro. He just was, I'm offside.
I'm telling you, if that ball got to Diaz might have touched it, but it'd have been stuck in his feet, and he'd have to like do a madness to get out of his feet, and then because he's not even expecting the ball there. That's just a poor pass from Grav, if we're being honest. He's just lazy, ain't looked that he's offside and tried to force it.
And then, but why did Tarkowski dive in though? Because he said obviously I don't know if he was gonna be onside or. I'm like, bro, you should have known.
Because he's doing the left, the ball's moving left to right, and he's doing this, and he's like, cool. The ball's gone past, and Diaz isn't like miles behind him. He's just behind him.
Right, just behind him.
From it. That's why I kind of get what G's saying. From a centre back, but imagine Diaz was onside.
Yeah,
he just left it.
Yeah, it would have looked like Virgil against PSV when he just left that whole sprint.
If he's not aware, you have to deal with the danger. It's like when man tried to play the offside, but man's onside, and it's like you're watching down the line. Abassi done it the other day against United. Was it United or whoever they played? Where you tried to do the offside against Arsenal. I don't know who it was. Was it Arsenal? Arsenal, where he tried to do the offside thing. Where he tried to.
That's why he got dropped. That's why he didn't play then.
Yeah, that's why he didn't play because he tried to do. He's watching the line and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna step up," but my man's dropped off. So now he's let the striker run through, and it's like. So Tarkowski has to go to it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Most of these things are not the ref and the linesman, and it's the rules. But the rules are all weird, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't even understand it. Because in the next game, it will be something else. And
So I can't lie. You know, when it showed when Beto scored and it showed the replay, I'm like, it looks onside to me. I don't know. And then they didn't put the line up. They just showed it. They didn't put the green line up. They just showed me the still image, and I
thought Virgil's shoulder was in line.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Legs, but I was like, because Virgil looks like he's leaning to one side, and Beto, I was like, it could go any way at this point. You're going to draw me the lines, but the line's going to be wonky, and then you're going to show me. Yeah,
hopefully, when they bring in the ultimate system, then we'll be all cool, innit? But look, Gerrard said it wasn't a stonewall offside straight away, bro. He's not having none of it. So these men are not clued up on the rules then, or the game. Is that what it is? I
don't think any of them. They try to be, but every week they have to do with something different where they got told something different. So I don't blame them. Remember, they're seeing it different as well. We're watching it from these great camera angles, and they're just seeing it from what's in front of them, innit? So
plus,
this is why you need a blanket rule for these kind of things, unfortunately, because otherwise it's like Jerry. You watch NBA, bro. If the ball hits a player's foot, remember you don't.
Doesn't matter if man dashes at his foot.
It doesn't matter if man fully dashes the ball at your foot, bro. That's that.
It's just what it is.
There's no whatever, like there's no ambiguity about, and I think. Unfortunately, I'm not saying for every rule, because obviously it's
fouls are the only one what really should be subjective in the game. Everything else should be what it is.
Like any sport though, like any other sport, if fouls are subjective, like you might not get a foul for that. But
because you know when they're like, oh, it's the force and that he used in that. Sometimes you can't tell the force, bro. If you get me, especially when you slow stuff down. But everything else, like a handball and offsides and that, should always be quite obvious, isn't it? It hit the
bro. It's just weird, because G's actually made me think, You know, back in the day, if you were just in an offside position and that ball's passed to Gravenberch, the linesman's just going offside, and then straight away, straight away, right? But this one is like, in the last couple of years, it's like they allow the game to run and then just to see. They like
to go for 2 more minutes.
Make a decision afterwards. So it's like, he might be offside, but we'll see, innit? He might be off. So I even see with Virgil when man's like, he's offside by a mile, but you're making me do a sprint all the way to Alisson. And then have to barge man off the ball, where man
now I pull my hamstring and that.
Now I pull my hamstring. For you to go, it was offside, by the way. I knew it was offside, but I'm told to delay it. It's like they have to just, if you're going to do the offside thing, it's got to be how it was back in the day. And I know there was errors, but it was like, I remember that ball goes in, it's liner straight away, is offside. Ref looks at the line and it was offside. So nothing counts after
You,
that.
you think with these kind of things now that it's not? Let's take the officials out of it and say it's not their fault because now we're bringing in these extra rules when we don't necessarily need them. So now these guys can't really focus on their sole jobs. Like a liner back in the day, watch the line, last man offside. Once that flag goes up, there was no arguments, bro. You could argue like, no, ref, I bend the run and no offside, and we just dealt with it. Now it's like, oh no, play on and let's see what happens. Now we're seeing these little graphs and like, nah, well, his shoulder looks like, the toenail looks like, and then it's just bare conversations for no reason.
Only the media teams now, they're gonna, whether they get rid of it or not, the cameras are there now. They're gonna show it, and so we're gonna be at home seeing it going, it's offside, no matter what the ref said or linesman. It's fucked still, because before Van Nistelrooy fucked up the rules and that, it was just daylight between the defenders, innit?
I said before, Van.
I remember because Van Nistelrooy started doing that thing where he'd just walk offside first.
Yeah,
then he'd run back on the room. I was like, bro, I didn't mind it, to be honest. It was just him being smart, bro. And then they started saying, like, give the benefit to the striker. I'm like, bro, I don't know, because I told you before, if you stand, it sounds crazy, but if you stand side on with somebody like Virgil, bro, all it has to be is a player who's bigger than you, bro, and you're onside. As long as you stand sideways. Remember, no one's taking the same in that. So as long as we're side on, I'm offside or I'm onside,
more time when you think about it, not all the time because that's poor positioning, but let's say the centre back's standing like square, yeah, and the other one's side on. The momentum's already taken him that way. Yeah. There's no way in hell.
There's no way, bro,
to turn over and get there.
And the way the rule is now, if you're like a size 12 in that, bro, you're offside, isn't it? Yeah, even though you're standing in line with man, you're a size 12, you're off. That's what happened against
Femwa. You got a bit of like, if you got Akinfenwa at the back,
bro,
you got a bit of a.
when they give remember we got that goal chalked off in the League Cup when Lukaku scored against us when we drew 0-0 with Chelsea, and it was his foot what was offside. His big, he was standing in line with our defenders. It's just that his toe was bigger than my man's.
Yeah, it's actually push at a disadvantage if you're big, innit?
Yeah, exactly. My point. I'm saying that.
Man said if you got a size 12 foot, it's like a raw, man.
You're gonna have to draw your foot even further back to make sure you're on line.
Yeah. And if you're the centre back, your manager's moaning at you. Why'd you play him on side? Fucking didn't, bro.
And then you're making runs, but you'll never get into the ball. And like, I'm on the shoulder. Like, I am on the shoulder, bro. This is the closest I can get without being offside.
Nah, man, like,
no, G actually made me think about that. You know, maybe.
What's that?
I'm saying maybe it should have been an offside when I think about it.
Yeah, because he did try and pass it to him. We all know he tried to pass it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know we prove it, but bro, like who else was he passing to in that whole vicinity? Like it was
man
only
said
one
I was
player
trying to add a little spin. There was a disguise thing. It was going to spin last minute, and then it would have been whoever was running on the side. Maybe no. You tried to pass
like I said, just make it simple. Like even handballs. Like I'll be honest, it's gonna happen to us. Like you just got to deal with it, bro. Handball, if it touches your hand, brother, handball.
No matter what,
accidental. There's none of that rubbish. No, you touched your hand, it's a handball. It's really that simple. And then we move on. People are like, oh yeah, but then people are gonna be, bro. In basketball, man, are not playing basketball and saying, let me dash the ball at man's foot because I know that it's gonna be, bro. Like no one's gonna do that. Like
to be fair, you don't
gain anything from.
To be fair, man in basketball are doing that, you know. Like
no.
They are. If they want a timeout.
It's not something that it's not
a little timeout,
but it's not something that's consistent enough for you to worry about. Like, oh my god, like this is gonna happen.
It's not like they do it every minute, but obviously in certain times of the game they'll do that. So, but obviously if you're in the box, you can imagine, right? If you've got wingers that are just getting used to step over, try and flick it and catch it off your hand, you're gonna get enough penalties at that. You're gonna get enough penalties.
I need to think of some kind of rule, man. I need to think of some kind of rule, but like, just I don't know, man. Just make it be the I don't know, bro, the foot or the leg or something, blood card. That's what it's football, isn't it, bro? So I'm not trying to hear about man's deltoids offside and all this business, bro. It's not even affecting anything, bro.
What do you think here about Virgil saying everyone wants to be in our position? Of course they do, bro.
But not for
that.
Obviously. He's just saying basic stuff nowadays, man. He's starting to annoy me a bit, you know.
Jerry, I said to you yesterday.
He's just saying this stuff, and then like even this one, I knew you were gonna bring this up. I just knew how it ends, isn't it? Yeah, like even this.
We have to speak about it, Jay. We have to.
You know what Michael Owen is trying to say, bro?
No, we don't, bro. We don't. No, we don't, bro.
And we do. Everyone knows what he's trying to say because we've spoken about it on this show, bro.
No, we don't. Man. These men keep trying to little down the Premier League team, bro. But it could have been a special season. Could have.
Okay,
Told
cool.
you lot about
Okay,
these,
cool.
man.
Okay. Would it? What's better to do? Win 3 or win 1?
Depending on the 3.
No. What's better to do?
I'm
Win
being
3
honest with
or
you,
win
bro.
1?
I'll be honest, but based on the trophies that we can get in England, 3's always going to be better than 1 because 1's going to be the Champions League or the Premier. Has to be just on maths.
Okay, so if the 3 is always going to be better than 1, and to be honest, unless it's like what we did in 2001, where it's like you won the UEFA Cup, League Cup, FA Cup, and then you're comparing that to like winning a Premier League, then whatever, that's like apples and oranges, right? But if we're saying 3 trophies that you are in to win, right? And now you're down to 1, bro. Like, come on, like, yes, you were on for that. That's a special season. That's not taken away from the season that we are currently having, but it would have been way better if you had won. Obviously,
Okay, I agree. I'm going to agree for this argument. But what Michael Owen tried to do was Michael Owen tried to just belittle it, and I keep hearing.
Nah,
it.
he didn't belittle it, bro.
No, he did, bro.
Feelings are getting hurt for what reason? I don't get it. Like,
no, because he tried to belittle what we're doing, bro. Like, without realizing probably.
How would he have belittled winning a Premier League? Like, how does that belittle?
No, because you already know that's gone now. We already know those trophies are gone. We're out of them, cool. But if you're gonna ask the man a question after a win, like we're going towards a Premier League title, bro. I ain't trying to ask about. Yeah, it could have been a special season.
But ends at the same time, right? He needs to ask the question, like, as a viewer. I want him asking the questions that we discuss.
Yeah.
So the question I want to know as well is, he's saying after 2 defeats, right? How hard was it to come back off that, knowing that it could have been a very special? Right, if Liverpool had won the Champions League and the FA Cup, right, we'd be talking about as one of the greatest seasons, like up there with the best treble, right? That's what we're talking about. Now it's just going to be not just the league.
No, but that's what I mean. For
me, it's still going to be a good season, but I won't look back on it and be like, that season was so special, man. Like, it was honestly.
No, but Jerry, it has to be, because it depends on what you picked at the start of the season. It has to be special. If you picked, for an example, Liverpool not to win the league, you can't then say, "Oh, all right." No, it has to be special, because your targets you set was not winning it. But if I set the target, for instance, like for me, Sav, I can't remember if G said win the title, but for us, when we said
I did not say win the title.
All right, cool. But if we say win the title, and then, you know what I mean, we're already gone, right? We're going to win that. And
then that means it's not special for you then. That means it's not special.
But what I'm saying is, I don't like Michael Owen, because he didn't pick Liverpool to win the title. No pundits did. So he
He said really special. That's
Jerry, I'll be honest, bro. If you watch him say it and not just see this, Owen doesn't sound like he's trying to like take the piss.
No, but I watched it.
I've heard it. Because when I was watching it, I was like, why is Virgil so rattled, bro?
Yeah, I was like, why are you so pressed? Like, he's just asking you a question.
But you know the reason though, innit? It's because it looks like he's only spoken to Michael Owen and the Sky Sports commentators, but if Mando had the media thing, well, he's probably spoke to like 8 people already, bro. And they've all on the same kind of thing. It's like, okay, now I've got you, blood, and you went off to Man United. I ain't trying to hear from you, you little prick, bro. That's what it is, bro.
Put it this way, right? The way I look at it, right, as well, from maybe Owen's perspective, they've played, innit, is Virgin that would go into the season. They're not. I know I didn't think we're winning the league. You probably didn't. G probably didn't, right? But
why did I didn't?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not trying to put words into your mouth, innit? That's it. He didn't. G thought
I did not think Liverpool were gonna win the league. I'll say it here and now. I do not mind.
Cool. I didn't either. But anytime I heard Virgil speak and Salah speak and all of that, no, we're trying to go for everything. We're winning. We're trying to win everything. Yeah, the Premier League. We're trying to win it. So that was their goal, right? Now, over time, things change in the season. For instance, if Liverpool to bottle the league right now, are you going to sit here and tell me, I didn't think Liverpool would be in a title race like that, you know? I didn't think, like, second, but boy, like, you wouldn't. You'd be like, this was a shambolic end to the season, right?
Yeah,
so from his perspective, if he's asking after 2 defeats, right, and there were big defeats where you could have won a title in the Carabao Cup and you got knocked out at home by PSG in the Champions League, which you'd have been knocking out one of their favourites, right? I think it's fair to go and ask how you guys have recovered from it or how you guys are feeling in the camp, because it could have been a very special season, which it won't be a special. I think that's fair to say. You can't. I'm not going to allow this brother to gaslight me and tell me, yeah, one Premier League is as good as the Champions League, Premier League, and the Carabao Cup. There's no. Come on.
But I don't think that's what Virgil was saying. He just don't want to belittle what they've done so
I don't
far.
think anyone is belittling. I think everyone's Gary Neville's praising them.
I'm gonna go with what Savage said. I think because he probably answered so many of these questions, probably he's had 8 to do. TNT, this, blah blah blah.
That's what I think.
But that's what Michael
every time he keeps hearing, oh yeah, it could have been this, and he's like, so you man don't think when it, because in his mind, after like the 8th time, the 2nd time, 3rd, 4th time, he's gonna be like, don't you man think this is a good season then? Like,
but then he's
in the Premier League.
But he's also got to take responsibility that you guys as a team, you fucked up. You got knocked out of the glove.
It's not like he hasn't. So I can't use that.
That response to me tells me you haven't.
No, but that's because if we're going off of this, then I can't agree. But because there's other times when after the games he's taken responsibility.
The biggest issue for Virgil here is
no, but you can take responsibility. I'm talking in a general sense. If we're just basing it just purely off of this interview, right, and we're listening to it, the reality is this, right? If you've taken responsibility as a team, to me, I don't see why this would bother you, even if 100 people asked you. Bearing in mind, they are reporters. This ain't like us, man, asking you the question over. Bro, this is reporters. You know they are going to ask you. So when you come off press like this, I'm like, now you sound like you got some problem over there because you sound like you got an issue. These times, no one would belittle you ever winning. No one's going to belittle anyone.
No, but that's the narrative now, though. That's what I'm saying.
You know what it is,
but I've not seen the narrative that says
that might be more of an insecurity thing, though.
Yeah, we got
man knows
insecurity is like
very special. And because man's saying it now, he's like, what do you mean?
Say that very
really
special.
not good enough. It's like, no, it is good enough, but you know you could have won everything.
The League Cup and the Champions League, we got knocked out before the international break in it. I think Virgil's just not trying to hear anything now that we've had an international break and we're back in it. He probably got back in and these lot are on some refresh thing. Now we only have to win the title. Let's go and win that. Man ain't trying to hear it.
The demons again, yeah.
Is that Michael Owen?
I'm not on Virgil's side on this one. I'm like, I don't understand why you got rattled anyway. So it's I'm just offering the perspective of why Virgil was acting like that. Because for me, it's like I get what Michael Owen's talking about. Because yes, it's what Jerry said on it. At the beginning of the season, or as the season goes on, the Prem is like the most important thing. Like, oh my God, if we can win the Prem. The fact that we were so many points ahead when we went into that PSG game and the Newcastle one, it kind of like the Prem's on the back burner. It's almost like, yeah, you've won that. So now you can just lock into these games. And the fact that you didn't,
you've done that.
Yeah. The fact that you didn't, and you've got this now, it's like
and you messed it up.
Exactly. And obviously, I mean, not Virgil and that, but let's not pretend the fans are talking about treble and all this business a few weeks ago.
Quadruple and them.
So of course, it's not going to feel as special. But when it gets to the end of the season and we pick up the title, it will feel that special again because that's what matters. But for that, you know what I mean? It's one of those ones, bro. Like, I get it, Virgil, man. I hear it still, bro. Man, there's been no Dutch captain to ever win the league and that. So special, Virgil.
Yeah, man ain't trying to hear no one trying to belittle it down. Even
man. What Virgil should have said is, why didn't you ask Trent and walked off, blood? That would see. Our players don't have no personality, bro. I told you, bro. They're all like,
why didn't you ask Mo? He's the best in the world, apparently.
Yeah. Some bad man thing. Go ask Trent, blood. He's your best friend, and he didn't. You left too, didn't you? Go speak to Trent.
Right.
That's what Virgil said. He said. Virgil should have said, "Hold on, no, didn't you go Real Madrid as well? Speak to Trent and leave, bro."
Imagine he did that and just broke the headphones, just snapped them.
You know how cold it would have been, bro. We need personalities back. I'd love it if we beat them. Love it. We need it back, bro. He's not being weak in that.
Love it.
But also as well, I also think as well, what like for me anyway, from what I've seen obviously Manchester City, we see Manchester United, you see Chelsea, right? A team used to winning. You start to see it in the way that the players talk. When you're not used to winning, everything is going to press you, bro. Like any little thing that someone says that's going to take you over the edge a little bit, you're going to be like, oh my God, like this. These times I've heard Rodri speak after when they've only won, I think, like the Prem and maybe a cup. And it's like, no one's pressed. You know why? Bro, I've just come off the back of winning fucking 3 in a row. Man ain't pressed about whatever questions you're asking me about anything.
You say that, G, but I heard some of them man in that camp got rattled when people like, oh, you man don't respect us and what we've done. I've heard them be rattled because
no. You're talking about now. You never heard it during the period of time when they were winning everything.
Bro, when Pep won them league titles in a row, man was rattled because they're like, oh no, but you were expected to win that with the money you spent. He was like, no, this can't be expected to do this, blah blah.
Nah,
Like, bro,
I don't feel like Pep's someone that like it
he
gets
does get rattled, bro. He gets rattled when you don't show him. Remember about the Premier League thing as well, when he was like, "Oh, none of the Man City players ever win it, but we win the top." It's like, bro, like
what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
but that's
Virgil
the
should be
fact, though. That's a, like,
Yeah.
as in we watch it and we say the same thing. We're like, how is Kevin De Bruyne not won it? How has Haaland not won it? How is Rodgers? We know that they should probably win it.
Virgil should be lucky that he wasn't speaking to journalists from his own place, bro, from his ends, because they're rude. Them journalists will eat, bro.
You know, he's
them man
lucky
would have been
when-
like, "What do you say,
lucky when
bro?
Van der
They're
Vaart
not
or someone.
special."
Yeah,
Yeah,
lucky
bro,
when-
they're rude, bro. Them Dutch journalists are on smoke at all times, bro. They don't care, bro.
You seen what they were doing to Hendo after
No,
he didn't do anything?
Hendo said, "Hold on, mate. He said, you know," and he's like, "Well, you know, the club put you up for sale, didn't they?" It's like, "That's not what happened. Is that what you heard?" He said, "I did it, bro. I saw, bro. Hendo wanted to fight this youth."
Yeah, he did, bro. Man said they put you up for sale though, didn't they? It's like, what? When did they put me up?
When
Bro.
did this happen? Man's got the
When
badge
did
of
this happen? That shit funny, bro.
Let's move on to this one, man. What do you man think of this as well? So around the stadium, these posters were put up around the houses and stuff. I said I don't think Trent would have seen one with his own eyes, probably not, but I guarantee the family members, friends would have posted this and said, "Yo, big man, have you seen this?"
Get a
Hold
job.
on, but hold on. Is that way like you used to live or something? Because otherwise, this
No, it's around the whole stadium. So around the whole stadium, there's like houses that's abandoned. Well,
Okay,
Liverpool owned.
yeah,
So them man, they just went, "Yep, stick these up everywhere, bro." Like, so I was
They
like,
can do what they
wow.
want. All I'm saying is when the camera zoomed in on Trent, he was having a great time, blood. So Trent was laughing his head off on the touchline, bro. I don't know. He didn't look upset or depressed anymore, bro.
Do you know what's mad about Trent as well? I don't know about you guys. That looks like a bit of a tan to me. There's not been a lot of sun. He ain't been trained.
That's what I thought. Man was glowing in that. You know them way there.
He looked like he just came off the back of.
You know, like that when man was. I know people asked him his skincare routine in his DMs after the game, bro. I know it, blood. Man was glowing in that like a baddie, blood.
The man said he was over in Spain, just tying up the rest of the loose ends and that, just making sure.
All I'm saying, his mum's been there over the international break, folding his clothes into the wardrobe, doing the color coordination thing,
I'm
making
telling
sure
you, bro.
the preds are lined up.
You know, Trent and Jude's mom's been out for coffees and that, blood. Sangria and that, bro. Trust me.
Yellow and that. But talking about what it's like to be.
Shopping for sarongs and that, blood. Now, no, blood, they be chilling, bro. They be chilling, bro.
Talking about how they dealt with a black boy's hair and that.
Yeah.
Do you know how mad this is? Yeah, that the first game back to Anfield, this brother was smiling up, having
Bro,
a
he
great
was
time,
smiling his face away, bro. Loving life, bro.
But the thing is, what in his position, yeah, I'm like, what can he even do?
Now, G, the thing is,
He's not
I know that.
he knows.
What, G, you know what? Like what I'm doing in my personal life with camera work, and I know what they're doing, bro. When it showed him smiling, that doesn't mean that it's live that he's smiling, and it they could take it from any point in the game. So for the whole game, he could have been sitting there grumpy. They've took this one time where, like, I don't know, one of the substitutions made a joke with him, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put that on there now." Trent smiling, and they're just zooming in. Trent don't know that camera's on him. It's not like it shows it in the stadium. Oh, Trent, the camera's on you. Then he doesn't know. That man have to sit there with a grumpy face the whole time. Nah, blood, Trent's loving life. He's even walking different, moving different.
See, man, with a bit of a bounce at the end of the game, boy. I said, right, you look like you're.
Man,
You know, you get good moves in life.
When you're a Galactico, blood, you move a little different. You know, like that. Blood. You see, he's got a white. He's got a white t-shirt on under that coat, blood. You know them way there. Wait, the same, bro.
No one's ready to unzip it, unbox it, in that. No, I promise you. Imagine, like, okay, obviously sponsored by Adidas, innit? But imagine like one of the tops like Real Madrid wear, but it's not like a Real Madrid top, but they'll just use it now and then.
Yeah.
And then he had one of them on, like he just took the jacket off and had one of those. No, he's just sponsored by Adidas. So he has to wear Adidas.
Man, it's just like Marvel, bro. Man should have looked out for the Easter eggs. And the man don't remember when I posted the billboard of Trent in the middle of Madrid for Hugo Boss early in the season. Man didn't clock on to that, blood. All of a sudden, he's in the middle of Madrid on the biggest billboard. Yeah, bro. Man should have known, blood. They were setting the scene and getting the Madridsters ready. This is Trent, blood.
You know, any results stood out for you, man? I don't know if you caught any of the games, saw any of the highlights.
I caught all the highlights. Villa game stood out, man. Going into their game for the Champions League, the Villa game stood out a lot, man. Asensio and Rashford's form's not falling off, bro.
Yeah. I looked at the points, Sav, and they were only 4 points. I want to say off of the top 4. But obviously Chelsea, if they win, then I think it goes to 5. But in the form that they're in at the moment, they're cooking, bro. Like
I think a lot of us have spoke about the technical aspect from like the players we play in the league compared to the Prem. When everyone playing the Prem's better and that. And the point proven that I always make is when these certain players come to the Prem, all of a sudden they look head and shoulders above everyone. Now, Asensio has been dealing with injuries for years, bro. Couldn't break into teams, had to play on the bench and all that. Man's come into the Prem and he's making everyone look like a dickhead, bro. And we've seen this over and over again with these kind of players, bro. Este, Bojan. It always happens, bro. Techie ballers, bro. Hey, listen, that's I just think that, like, as a Liverpool fan, and I'm not one of these FSGR guys, and I don't care about any of that, bro. But for Michael Edwin Hughes, and you see when you see Villa make them kind of moves, bro, even just loans, it's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? Like, they got Rashford and Asensio, blood, and then we got like nobody. Not even
these men could have been up for a little move if we.
Yeah, bro. Loans with option to buys, not loans where it's like, oh, it's not going to work out. I understand what happened previously with Artemelo. That's different because Hendo got injured the night before and we only had the one night left. So that's different. But we don't really do loans, innit, Liverpool?
Nah.
But why not sometimes, bruv? Why if he just gives you the little edge if there's somebody who's not getting into another team?
Every one of the top teams have kind of done it apart from us, bro.
It's just us that we don't.
Arsenal does the loan thing.
These loan players between each other, bro.
Yeah, they loan between each other. Yeah, it's
man
mad.
Forgetting that Sancho's a United player, bro, and he's at Chelsea, bro. Like these loan players between each other, but yeah man.
Sterling, he's at Arsenal, he's a Chelsea player. Like, it's like Rashford the United, but he's at Villa. Like these man proper like loan between each other, and we just don't do it.
Yeah, man.
Maybe we just ain't got players that people wanna. I'm saying they wanna.
No, but even us like going, oh my man, okay, we could, you know, what I mean, bring him in. Maybe there's something he can offer. We loan him out for a season, see what he's about. We're not even...
I wish Liverpool would move like this, but we know how. Bro, like, look at the loans that we are doing, and then when we finally do start doing loans that everybody wants, you got a man like Bajcetic. You're like, yeah, you know what? He's gonna go to RB. What was it? Salzburg.
The
man fucked up over there. Then he's got to come back and go to whatever they're called. Then he had Carvalho going to Leipzig as well. He had to come back and go to Hull City. Like all of a sudden now, you start looking at it thinking, ooh, I mean. Really and truly,
mine's more about getting people in than loaning people out. But I'm saying that we know.
Then for Liverpool, that will never be a good.
Yeah, I was about to say we never loan anyone in. Like we never.
Yeah. But that wouldn't even for Liverpool's business. That wouldn't even be a good idea. Like
no one knows. Yeah. It wouldn't be. I'm just saying that when I see how Villa's moving, they had a problem, sorted it. Yeah. Quick and that. And when you look at their depth in their team and that compared to like the rest of the teams in the Prem and their starting lineup, better than most people's team.
Oh, bro, that attack is crazy. That attack is mad.
So obviously, just have a little final look at the table right now. 12 points clear, bro. Chilling, relaxing, vibing out. 8 games left. 8.
It's over, man. It's over, bro.
I want it to be over, though. It's not over until it's over.
Bro. It's over, bro. It's done. Like, I kind of want more excitement just because, but fuck it, man. This is whatever, innit?
Savvy, we'll get exciting once we win because that's when they might play slot ball, bro. They might actually play.
You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen when we win based on how slot plays, bro. We're gonna think he's gonna start playing these fringe players, and he still won't play them.
Yeah, that's what I want, bro.
He won't. I was thinking this the other day, like, oh yeah, he might start playing this. I don't think he cares about giving anyone a Premier League medal. So I think he'll leave Kaiser with like 3 games and that just so he doesn't get a medal, bro. You get me?
No,
I don't think he'll bring on Rio or any of them. He might bring on like Trey and McConnell for like 5 minutes in a game. I don't think he'll rotate the whole squad at all. I don't think he'll do any of that, bruv. And then Salah's gonna argue them anyway, saying like, "Yo, I got to get my individual stuff, bruv. So I'm playing, bruv. What are you talking about? I need to beat Henry's record and that." It's
honestly, the way Salah's moving right now.
Should we talk about it? Or?
No, I don't need to talk about it, but.
What's understood don't need to be said, bro.
It's fantastic up until like it's always like that until January, and then this happens every single season.
Nah, that's deep. You blaming Ramadan on that? That's deep still, Jerry, man. Have some respect.
Fuck's sake, bro.
Man's doing the ends tactic, throwing words into my mouth. Putting words in my mouth and getting me cancelled all of a sudden.
I said
All of a
this.
sudden I get clipped up by Saeed or someone saying, yeah, this brother said you don't rate Ramadan.
Oh man, and just to kind of wrap it up, lads, what boot would you have picked?
God, bro.
Chat as well. You guys,
What do we have, or what do we? What would
what
we?
you have and what did you used to wear?
My boots have been Tempos the whole time, bro. I had the
Yeah.
prejudice for Gerrard, but Tempos have been my boots, man. They're the most comfortable wear. I had the Vapors because I wanted to be slick up front, bro. But someone stands on that on the corner, blood. R.I.P. to your foot. It's like wearing socks, bro.
I've had quite a lot. I've had the F50s, the Total 90s, the Predators, the Tempos.
I'm telling you, man. If a man bops up with big coughs and them Sondico strikes, blood, get out the way, bro.
Yeah,
Get out the way,
yeah.
blood. That's a man who's a construction worker, blood. The football's his release on the weekend. Get out of the way, bro.
I always wanted those Mercurials, though. I would like those Ronaldo.
The top one.
No. The R9.
The middle ones, the R9 ones. They brought them back out.
There's a number there, by the way, guys. We can throw the number there to make it easy.
I didn't even.
I actually think
Sorry, number five.
I don't like number 2s. The Mercurial number 2s, I hate them. I like number 5s and then the ones what Henry used to wear as well. The
Henry red ones. I had those ones.
Yeah,
as well. Hey, sweet.
Yeah.
I had
And I had white and gold ones.
I've had number 4s. I've had number 4s. I've had number 8s. And number 8s I rated so much, man.
Yeah.
Number 8s.
ETR,
Number 10s I'm at my standard.
Them number 8 the fingers, isn't it, Jerry? They're Rooney's ones, isn't it?
Defend the shoe, like I feel like I've seen bare.
Which one?
And you know number 8 when you went to the like sports director that back in the day.
No, I weren't Rooney. Rooney was always T90 and happy.
T90. Is that Fabregas control?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
used to
that's
have
Fabregas.
Rooney,
Iniesta,
Ronaldo. Yeah, Rooney, Ronaldo, and Fabregas in it, and Fabregas had control. Ronaldo had speed with the Vapors, and then Rooney had power with the T90.
Yeah, and in different countries they'd swap out Rooney for someone else.
Yeah,
That's so good.
Rooney's face ain't global like that, blood. You get me?
So they'd have Rooney in England, but then I know if you went Spain, they'd have like Raul or someone like that.
Hypervenoms remind me of early pro clubs. I hate the Hypervenoms.
Hypervenoms are so, like, when it's about football, the most comfortable I've put on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're the ones when I was like, oh, this is technology at its best, you know? Like, my brother had them, and I was like, this is crazy, bro. Like,
Tempos are like wearing trainers, blood, like comfy trainers.
Man, tempos are quality.
Oh my God, bro.
CTRs, bro, I was just gassed about the little padding and the little grip and that. Yeah, I was gassed by that.
Them F50s, I had both colours of the F50s, that colour and then the silver and black one. I even remember the advert at the time because you used to have them going to war in it with like Cisse and Defoe and all that on the banner and Zidane. That was cold still. And then I think Robben was on there as well. Coppers. I thought like bad man Sunday League youths and that who have 5 kids, blood.
I wear coppers now, bro. I remember I didn't have boots one day and they were like, yeah, for the 4G you need boots, bro. I went and got a pair of coppers. That was it, bro. I mean,
proper ballers wear them, man. Coppers are for proper ballers. No one really wears coppers, bro. Yeah,
no man really turns.
No man is shit wears coppers, bro.
Yeah, if you pull them out your bag.
To be fair, you do get the Tarkowski Avit with coppers. Yeah. You know, because he's got the size and it's too big. He's laced up the boot.
Jerry,
wrap the laces around the boot as well. And I'm like, what is this, bro?
Yeah, the ones who just strangle up their metatarsal and that, bro. Yeah. Wrap up the whole thing, bro.
No, I'm going to use that. Strangle up the metatarsal.
Oh, man. All right, my lads, we'll leave it there. I don't know if Sav or G has any videos for later or whatever, but listen, their links are pinned in the title. Very easy. You know what I mean? You can go on.
Can you three do me a favor, bro, on some content? You see, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I was talking about the underlap instead of overlaps and that. Mm-hmm. I'm not dissing anyone, but I am. Clearly, some man ain't played football before, innit? Mm-hmm. So you lot need to do some kind of tactical breakdown where you just take those questions and then take a few images and explain what the manager's doing or what the players are doing. Because I'm fed up of hearing the same shit. Oh, why is Trent up the top? Why is Trent up the top of the pitch? What the fuck do you mean? Why is he up the top of the pitch?
The thing is, we've done this and all that happened, yeah? I don't know how many men are in the chat, but there'll be 4 or 5 men that you know will be there. And they're the ones that, yeah, I'll get it. The rest of these man either don't watch, even if they watch, they don't want to know. But I've broke it. But ends. You've seen me on his
I
break it down. Like in layman's terms, I try to be nice. I try to pander to these men. They just don't understand it. I said the same thing about Salah to Hussam, and Hussam says to me, "Are you blaming everything on Salah?" I was like, I can't believe it.
Now, the one what kills me is Jerry mentioned Salah, and then Hussam goes, well, Henry never did that. What the fuck is that got to do? Hazard never done that. Yeah, we're not talking about Hazard. We're talking about Salah.
Bro, I still don't understand. That's why I messaged you, Jerry. I was like, bro, I don't understand what you're doing back here. What are you doing back here, bro? What was his fault?
He came in and stirred it up. He came in, he was doing LOLs in the chat. He came
bro,
in.
and I didn't say anything though. I've
got the message. I've got the
G always does
that. I was just LOLing. I was just listening that day, man. I thought, I was like, bro, people are so rattled over Salah. Like, that's so crazy. Like, this conversation, like, has got so many people from both sides so, like, stirred up. I was like, hey, when you're good, man. Sometimes you'll get
That's
people.
why I don't bother saying that, bro. I see man jump in the chat earlier when I did the preview, and now, like, yo, Salah, you didn't talk. Nope, I ain't talking about that, brother, bro.
Hamid Ghali from now on.
You know what it is? You know what it is with players like him, bro. I feel like they're like it's like Cole Palmer at Chelsea. Trying to think of like a Saka potentially. You know, like some players, bro. Shit or not shit, great or not great, whatever. I promise you that cult that them man have. You try to ever go at Saka? Oh my god. I've seen the way that these men move when someone says, bro, Saka ain't even all that. I've seen the way man move. And because he come through the academy, it's even worse over there. Palmer, the same thing when man chat about
like Palmer's hilarious, bro. This man, when he decides to just walk around the pitch, I'm going,
bro, like he's Messi, like he's fucking Lionel Messi. I'm like,
you have to earn to get to what Messi was doing that for. This geezer just said, nah, today I'm just clocked off.
I'll chat to you man off stream, but I heard something about that, brother, and apparently it's been like this for a while. It's been like this for a while, but apparently he deservedly so.
Okay, huh? Autism and that.
He's one of the highest paid players for a reason, but if not the highest paid.
And just say, I'm not even gonna repeat what's
for a reason. That's on the big gap, the big money. Yeah, listen, man. I don't know, bro. Like, there's certain players we can't mention no more. And Sab, to your point, to the tactical thing, we should do it more often. But I agree also with what Jerry said, bro. We've done it. There's 5 man that's the regulars that will be like, yep, let me lock in.
You know what it is, though? You know what it is? Just as a content creator, bro, I'm not saying that you man are wrong, but you can't have to brush them man off, blood, innit? Like, it's not for them, innit? No, it's not for them, innit? Like, make it so it's inviting for new people to come across, innit? But the man them that don't want to listen and that. Because if you only cater to them, then it's like, them man are just running the channel, blood. Like, nah, fuck that. It's one of those, bro.
No, I hear that.
Tactical breakdown, G. I told you we need to bring back both sides of the coin as well, because that was fucking amazing, bro. Like,
and you don't already know what to do with the thumbnail. Just pick out some random picture of Liverpool, highlight something, and then circle somebody, and it looks like it's tactics, bro.
And just be like, this is why he needs to start.
Yeah, that's it.
Bro, why do you think some of my things say that? Like,
this is why Trent's not good enough. And then you talk about Salah the whole game, the whole thing.
Bro, my favorite YouTube title.
This is why he wants to sign.
Bro, favorite YouTube title on football that I see that everyone uses is like the truth about Mesut Ozil nobody knew.
Oh, bro! And these times it'll be something you're like, "What is it even?"
And every single thumbnail has like the half and half face, so it's like the secret between Gerrard and Gravenberch nobody knew. And it's got half Gerrard, half Grass. Devil eyes and that for no reason. He looks cold, bro.
He looks cold though. I can't. I'll click on it. I'll click on it.
The secret between Gravenberch and Gerrard, and the only secret you find out is. Yeah,
Gravenberch went to Amsterdam once, blood.
He just said he rates him. Once. In like
they bring up the quote as well. He said, "Yeah, back in 2014, Gerrard said Gravenberch was the truth."
Not even that. Gravenberch in his interview, when asked about Gerrard, said, "Yeah, he was really good." The rest of the thing, he was talking about Zidane and saying how good Zidane.
Brother, this shit kills me, bro. And he said, bro, that one's another one. Slot secret tactic. The secret tactic used to destroy. And then the next one will be, as soon as Slot lost 2 games, like the tactic that outclassed Slot.
Hold on. Eddie's, do you know why Eddie's a waste man? Yeah, why he's a fraud? He's the one that sends them into the group. He's the one
Yeah,
that
I'm just like,
he sends them in. Man done the secret, like he didn't watch that this morning, bro. You watched that this morning.
You know, you watched that as well this morning, bro. Like, yeah, man, need to chop that up. Nah, listen, we should though, to be fair, and do the tactical stuff a lot more than what we do. Now we should. But
I think also as well doing it around, you know what it is? Man get bored of doing tactics of just Liverpool.
No, G, ask Ends. I said to him 2 days ago when I messaged you lot to get in the group and I was speaking to Ends about YouTube. I literally said the same thing to Ends. I brought up your channel in it, and I said, bro, like, G literally caters to everyone, bro. It's a little bit, it's better like that, bro, because you can spot stuff in other games, what's not just Liverpool in it, and talk about it, and then those fans will appreciate it more, bro. You get me? Because they need someone to break down certain things, bro. So.
You see how the Forest fans showed you love, bro?
Yeah, man. I think,
bro, even all now, I'm still confused. Like, by the way, thank you, Forest fans. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna say no, but yeah, like it's, bro, because, bro, I'm sorry, but Liverpool, you're too boring, man. Like, I need something else, like to
some of the Forest fans are on the stairs, isn't it? They're on the way out, blood, so they're happy to do some content about it.
Big up to everyone locked in, bro. Big up to everyone locked in, guys. Go and subscribe.
No, bro, I said they're on the stairs. They're not upstairs yet. They're just on the stairs, blood.
Subscribe to the Mandem's channel. Jerry, big up to you. G, big up to you, Sam. Big up to you. Chat, love for the love, man. We'll go and do something with ourselves.